What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I said in my previous video that I wanted to do a story time and I didn't know what story to start with, but I think this is the story to start with. I'm doing my makeup while I'm telling you guys a story time. This is a story time when I was 18 or 19 years old that my lawyer tried to marry me. He was over 50. When I declined, he quit. I do have video evidence of a phone call. When you give it, once you know more, it's something that you do. I'm not gonna use his name. Defamation of character, like I don't want him to come for me. I was already scared of him for a really long time, so I'm not gonna say the reason why I needed a lawyer. Maybe one day I'll come out and say it, but as of right now I'm not ready to. So this happened, I believe, in 2020. My grandma did her research and she found this person. Reached out to that person and we set up like a meeting to like talk about everything. I was going through like a really hard time, and I think that person saw me, how messed up I was about the situation. That I don't know if he saw it as a sense of weakness or like what, I don't know. Then days passed. He called me and he was like, hey, you want to go out to lunch and we'll talk about your situation or whatever, right? Me, okay, I want the situation like done and handled with as soon as possible, so yeah, I'm gonna go. So we went to Chick-fil-A. We sat there. Not once did we talk about my issue. Not once. Starts talking about like other people he's helping, other cases or whatever. Was this girl suing Forever 21? I mean, I don't know if I can get in trouble for saying that, but you know, she had a little incident with Forever 21, allegedly, and he was showing me like pictures of stuff and like about her case and stuff. I don't think lawyers can really talk about other cases like that, especially with other clients or other people. Like I don't even think they can talk about it with their spouses. So I was like confused, but I was just like feeding into it because it was really interesting. That story was like, yeah, hopefully she got her money. I brought up, I was just like, payment wise, because obviously I was on a payment plan. I was working at Shoe Palace. I was making $7.75 an hour, not making no type of money. He's just like, oh, like what's your schedule at work? So I told him, it's like my secretary, remember, I think it was because she was having a kid or something. The person was like, oh, I could use help at the office. He was paying me good money, way more than what I was making at Shoe Palace. Let me just do it because I need obviously to pay him. First day when I went, it was like training me, but it was very like slick comments and like calling me pretty, and I was just like, oh, okay. I'm working with him like I think 2 days a week or something. After the first week, I believe the second week was on Valentine's Day. Like Valentine's Day was like coming around the corner, and he's like, oh, do you want to go get lunch? And I was like, yeah. At that point I started feeling kind of weird, but again, I thought I was just dumb. I thought I was just reading too much into it. And then we went to go eat like at this restaurant, and we're sitting down. Somebody walks in with flowers, right? And he's like, oh, what if I got you flowers? Hello? I was like, for what? He's like, oh, for Valentine's Day. And I was just like, oh, don't do that. Like I remember specifically saying, don't do that. He's like, oh, like you don't like me. And I was like, not like that. Like, why would you get me flowers? And like I can tell he was getting like kind of like uncomfortable, or like oh fuck, like I just got rejected. He's like, no, it's okay, like you don't like me, you don't like me. And yeah, when I tell you, from that day, once I went home, I told my grandma, I was like, girl, there's no way. Came to the executive decision to come up with a lie and say, oh, like it's just not working with my school schedule, like I need more time to work on school stuff, so I can't work with you, like I'll still figure out how to get the money, whatever, like even if I have to take out loan, you know. Well, then I stopped working with him. That's when I started getting a little scared of him, because I was like, okay, obviously he feels something towards me, or whatever the heck he thinks is going on is really not going on. So I'm in school and I'm walking to my car, like, so I think it was like 8, 9 or 10, I don't know, around that time. And I get a phone call from him, right? Yes, why am I getting a phone call from this old man at this time? But I answered. Like I said, I was getting scared of him, so I was just like, oh, I don't want to make him a little angry or anything. So I answered. But he basically said that he needed a ride, that he was at a meeting with other attorneys at that time. Go off, whatever, liar. If I could please take him home. Like, I don't know why I did it. Like, don't be, Alexis, you're so stupid. Why'd you do it? I know. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. He sends me the address, and as I'm getting closer, like I'm realizing like this is not giving meeting place. So I pull up and it's a bar. So he comes out with a cowboy hat on, all drunk. It's in my passenger seat. I'm gonna drop him off and he's drunk. What if he asked me to go inside? So at that point I texted my grandma. I was like, hey grandma, like this is what's going on. Like this is weird. Like, you know, keep looking at my location. Like, I'm thinking like, I'm not gonna go inside. Like, don't be stupid. Like I know for a fact in that moment, I'm not gonna go inside. He pulled up to his house, and I at that time was living at a place where a lot of people live like in the middle of nowhere and like have ranches and stuff. I was like, oh, like if I get out this car and if he tries to kill me or something, ain't nobody gonna hear me. This man has so much acres of land and one house in the middle. Like oh, like we're here. And he's like, oh, like, do you want to come inside and see my house? And I was like, oh no, like, my grandma's waiting for me. I'm gonna go pick us up food to eat. And I think me saying that kind of low-key saves me, because him knowing that my grandma's waiting for me, obviously, she's gonna be looking for me. It was like, oh, okay, maybe next time. And in my head, I'm like, hell no, I'm talking about the fucking next time. Obviously, I told my grandma. She was just telling me, like, keep your distance, whatever. Obviously, I still needed to answer his phone calls. There was some stuff that we still had to go manage. Like, he was managing, like, this whole thing. He would call me, I need you to do this, I need you to do this. And he would bring up conversations, like, about, like, us, like, saying that he misses me and stuff. Like, what are we really talking about here? Like, what? I'm 19, you're freshly 19. Like, what are you, hello? He would bring up I had a boyfriend and stuff. And then that's when in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start recording, because now he's getting too comfortable to say these things. And I'm getting scared, because what if he tries to use his power over me? What if I reject him? And it's like this big thing, you know. In the recording I'm gonna show you, it was the same stuff that I was saying over and over and over and over and over again, and he just didn't take no for an answer. And it's like, and something that I would always say is like, I don't know if you took my niceness as flirting or whatever it was. Like, I'm not sure if it was the one that I'm gonna show you guys or like a different one, but he was like, oh, like, we can be together, it can be private, no one has to know, I can make this all go away, all these crazy things. I'm 19 years old. What are we really talking about here? You can make this all go away? No. I paid you to make it all go away. Why do I need to be with you to make it all go away? So are you trying to tell me that you're not going to make it all go away because I'm not going to be with you? Like, we get to the phone call, so I'm going to play it here. And I'm going to, like, warp the voice. Is that how you say it? Like, we're disorientate the voice so you guys can't really figure out who it is.
Because I'm not like that. Like how? Into that stuff. I mean, I wanted a serious relationship with you. What's wrong with you? You're too old. Why not? I mean, we don't have to take it public. Because I'm not interested. I don't even talk to boys like that. So you're a lesbian, you know what? So why don't you just let me take care of you for a while? And I don't want to. I mean, it's inappropriate. Nothing serious. That's what you want. I don't know if you took my niceness as something else, but I'm just a respectful person. I was raised right. Once get rid of this, take it out. I won't be calling you, don't worry. I guess you can hire an attorney.
I know, guys, I know. Whenever he's like, I'll take care of this ticket, then you can go hire another attorney, I was like, huh? In my head, I'm like, what the? And I told my grandma, and my grandma was like, it's okay, like, we don't need him. And me and my grandma one day, we had to go to the courthouse because we had to hand in some papers or whatever. And we see this man, and my grandma was like, hey, she just starts crying. She starts saying, like, the whole situation. In my head, I'm like, what if that's his bestie? The man asked, like, who was the lawyer you were working with? Because she didn't use any names. She said it, and his face said it all, y'all. He was just like, there's been a lot of complaints about him. A lot of people don't get along with him. In my head, I'm thinking, like, okay, maybe I'm not the only girl, right? Okay. He recommends us to this lady. Literally saves my life. Super sweet, so professional, so professional. She moves quickly. Like, I felt like this other one, he was just stalling just to have me in his life longer. I don't know. First conversation, she asked me, like, how I heard about her, and I told her, and she asked me, like, who the person was, and I told her, and she said that he used to be in her program, and that basically, like, he didn't really get along with her, or like didn't like her. Sadly, I still had to deal with him for a little while after because of the ticket. And again, he's stalling because you could, like, get the ticket done like this. Like, she was even telling me, like, it doesn't take that long. So he was still calling me, and it came to the conversation of, like, oh, like, who's your new lawyer? I told him, and he was talking so much mess about her. Like, he's like, oh, you have her, yes, and she gets shit done. Once, like, the ticket and stuff was almost done, I had moved to Houston, and he had called me one day, and I was at work. And I answered, and he was just like, hey, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm at work. He's just like, oh, where do you work? I was just like, fuck. I was like, oh, I work at a gym. And he's like, oh, like, this gym? I'm not gonna say the gym because this gym is only in select places, so you guys will crack it down. I was just like, oh no, like, I work at a different one. And it ended up coming up that, you know, I moved, right? And he's just like, you didn't tell me you moved. Did you move over there for a man? Do you have a boyfriend? And all these, I'm like, boyfriend? Like, boyfriend? Like, what? I moved to get out of a very toxic place. And he's like, oh yeah, you better not have one. Who are you talking to? He's like, you should have told me, like, so I could have said bye. I don't want to say bye to you. We should have been done from the time that you told me that you were gonna take care of this ticket. that I needed to get a new attorney. I got a new attorney. She's already done so much for me already, and you're still working on this little ticket. Are we being for real right now? And then he finished the ticket, so I didn't have to deal with him anymore. Because the other lawyer that I had, she was telling me, she's like, once he's done with that, like, you don't have to deal with him anymore. And once it was done, he was still trying to add me, like, on Instagram, like, TikTok, and, like, all these different places. Seeing my videos, like, in 2021. It was weird. He's blocked. He will never be unblocked. I never want to see that man ever again in my life. I really hope that I made sense. I really do. I don't wish him anything. I probably don't even wish him the best. Like, oh, sorry. Don't say that. You're going through something where somebody has power. I don't know what it's called. You guys please leave it in the comments. Where it's like they have so much power. Like, okay, you need to reach out to somebody. Or like say something to somebody. And stand up for yourself. Get help. Give people your location. Tell people what's going on. Like if you're going to meet with a person for whatever reason. Tell people where you're going. Or even have somebody waiting outside. I'm going to finish my makeup off camera. And then come back to do the outro. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like I always say, watch it again so I can get my watch time up. Please. But I hope you guys have a good night and hope the bed bugs bite. Bye.